Hey guys, it's Taboo, and I'm here to do a very quick intro guide to the Archer. Now, I've put some sort of suggestions together on the best way to grind this bad boy up. Now, I was really hyped about the Archer, and I think some of the moves are cool. I noticed there's a lot of people on like the forums and Discord saying they're not sure about the damage, but just remember at this state, and this state that the video's in as well, we are pre-awakened. I know we get our awakening at level 1, but we still haven't got it all done. You know, we don't have the Sentinel part of the quest, so we're missing a lot of skills and flows, and we don't have our ultimates for skills, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, so skills for grinding. Now, I've actually, for a level 57, I've got quite a lot of skill points because I've been grinding them at night with the training. But I've got 854, but I don't think there's so many that you necessarily need to level up. Now, there's some which I'd say definitely take, and some which I'd say are good options. So, for a start, if we go down, I'd definitely say Piercing Cry, just get that. It just helps with movement, and I'll show you a little bit later how I use that to go forward. Second is a really good one to take is Meteor Dive. Now, I'd say it's not really good, this is amazing, and you really need to take this. It's such a good skill. You use it to move around, and you use it to generate your MP, or your energy, whatever you want to call it. So, every time you do this, as it says, you get 40 MP per good hit. Because of this skill, you will not be taking mana pots around with you, so definitely take this, and it helps with movement. To cast it, all what you need to do is hit space after pretty much any skill, and you'll do it. Really worth doing. The next skill, which is a definite to get, is Wing Strike. Now, this is really good. It's got good movement, and the best thing about it is you can go in different directions with it, and it'll also knock people down, so it's really, really useful to have, and it does decent damage. This is key for grinding, so keep that in mind. It's just left or right, forward, click. Left click, and it's pretty nice. Now, the one that I'm going to say to go to straight away next would be Arrow Explosion. Now, I know a lot of people say that isn't the next one to go to, but for me, I love this spell. It's a ranged move. It does a lot of damage. You chuck a little ball into the air, you hit it, and it explodes, and does a nice bit of damage. It's worth having that. It has a bit of an animation, but never mind. It's definitely worth getting. Now, the other move which a lot of people really like, and I was clicking on the wrong one there, so it could start, is Earth Shatter. Now, this is a really cool move. For people that used to play the Ranger, this is the Archer's version of Shotgun, kind of ish, except has a cooldown. Now, if you do it normally, as you see in the video below, it has a cast animation. You can cancel that, and I'll show you how to do that. But level up this skill. It is really good. With these skills, you'll be able to level easily, but I wouldn't necessarily put this so high. My personal suggestion would be to do Arrow Explosion over this, just because of the range it gives you. But that'll all depend on your gear. Now, for Awakening, my personal preference, again, and it is just my personal preference, would just be do Radiant Explosion for now. It does really good damage. It flows really nicely with your other moves, because you can use this to get into your Awakening stance. But I really wouldn't worry about the other Awakening moves just yet. I know a lot of people like the Spear, but for me, I just didn't find it that useful, and you know, we want to grind quick, so these are skills I'd say it's worth taking straight away to help me with a quick grind. Right, I'll probably just jump ahead and I'll show you how I use some of these in concession. So one of the first and easiest combos you can really do is Wing Strike into Radial Explosion. So if I just do my Wing Strike there to knock them down, Radial Explosion, and as you see, everything's dead. It's quite nice. There's a really good damage modifiers on your Radial Explosion, and having them already knocked down is a really nice bonus bit of damage. So that's a nice easy one if you've got enough AP. And here we are in slow motion. So the next combo that we're going to do, and it'll probably be the main combo while leveling, is Wing Strike into Meteor Dive into Earth Shatter. Now when we do the Earth Shatter, we will be cancelling the animation. So I'll be doing it in this little clip here. I'll probably share it down afterwards, but you'll see. Now as you see, pretty straightforward clip, and it does all the damage that is needed. And here we are in slow motion. Now, I'd say the last one that I'd really say is, and this is my personal favourite, because I said about Arrow Explosion, I know it's not necessarily a favourite, but I quite like it when I'm doing bigger grinds, is because I can link it in between other combos to basically kill other packs, and that's just your Shift F. Now, it is worth knowing you can use this from Awakening and Pre-Awakening stance as well, so you can use this to transition in your Great Bow back to your Crossbow, which, to be fair, you know, there's lots of other ways to do it, but this is quite a nice one. Now, I'm just going to do it on this pack here. It works very nicely if you get the knockdown, again, like you see there, fallen into it, and there they're dead. Now it is worth noting this has some decent range to it, or say like medium range, so if you're up close in front of the enemies it won't hit them, so you do have to keep that in mind. So you probably won't be doing this straight after the meteor dive because you might be too close, but it is worth keeping that in mind. If you're going between packs, you can use that to basically take a pack on the side, which is really nice. So really the last thing to show you is probably just the Pierce Cry and how that sort of fits in with everything. Now the reason why I like the Pierce Cry is just for the momentum it gives you really. So if we're going to do the meteor dive, hold left click and you'll see you do that additional jump forward as well by shooting backwards. Now you wouldn't necessarily do this all the time, but as you see it gives you a good bit of movement, and while you're going between packs it can be quite nice just to have that in between everything to help you get around. So it's definitely something to keep in mind when you're grinding. Now, one other thing that is worth saying with regards to Meteor Dive as well, and it will just sort of help you out when you're leveling. As we've already said, if you press spacebar after you do some moves, you'll do that dive. If you press spacebar and backwards at the same time, you'll notice that I'm actually jumping backwards instead. And this backwards jump should really help you just change your situation wherever you are. So anyway, like I said, I'm going back to leveling now. So I'll put some of the stuff that I'm doing in the background, and hopefully you'll find it interesting or helpful going forward. So I hope you enjoy this class. I think it's absolutely an amazing class, and I really think Cacao have done a great job with it. So fingers crossed you do too, and I'm looking forward to when we get the Awakening and potentially doing some more. And I'll start looking at some PvP versions as well. But for now, the grind is on. Take it easy, guys. Bye.